Here we are at a nice campground here in Illinois, Cumlar. It's kind of our home base. There's not a whole lot of people here, so you can kind of see where we're set up. Well, I thought since we're kind of at our home base and I have my toolbox at the storage unit, I thought I'd do a little maintenance. As you can see, I got some rubber seals that are starting to go bad. I got some rusted hardware. Plus we have a little bit of rust bleedage here on these rear stabs. Well, as I was going through and doing this, I discovered there was a big huge wet spot. So what I did was I improvised overnight, see if I could get some of the water to dry up. I put this heater contraption here. I was removing the hardware on the legs. I noticed that we were getting some water, and then I noticed that there was some rust color coming from up here. So I was like, okay, so I started removing this piece just to kind of see what was back there, because I had a lot of rust on there at the bottom. And so I put a heater on it because I did find a lot of water behind this area here, and you can see it's starting to delaminate a little bit. So all I did was, there's a piece of trim that was right over the top of this area here that I removed. And one of the factors that I think is happening is that this plate back here has been condensating really badly in the back side behind here, and I think that's where the water is coming from. So what I'm going to do is seal up those bolts, and then I'm also going to insulate that piece, that triangle piece that's in here. And you can see there's some rusted hardware in here, and I did remove one of the other corners, and it does seem to be the same exact way. So what we're going to do is try to see if we can get this corrected as best we can. Alright, so I took the hardware off the back side of this, and we're open to the camber inside. But these are the bolts that are coming out. They're severely rusted. I'm thinking I got water intrusion back there, because obviously if I got rust on these, it's getting water from somewhere. So I'm not going to try and destroy it. So I'm using is just a 7-1 scraper just to kind of see if I can get behind here. I took the strut mounting plates off, so you can kind of see we got a little bit of water, and it is my belief that I got water coming down from this strip somewhere up top, down this groove right here, and then it comes down, and in addition to the saturation from the camper coming down into here. So one of the things I noticed is that they didn't seal any of this. So they have the sealant behind this piece, but they didn't have anything in here. I'm trying to figure out if I should fill it or not, but I'm guessing I should. I'm gonna have sealant from the inside of the camper. What I'm doing here is I'm putting some GeoFlex RV, making sure my tip is clear. Now I only cut a little bit of a 1/8 inch off here. Alright, so what I'm doing is just putting a really fine bead up there just to smooth it out. So I stick some rubbing alcohol on my finger and I work it into that joint. And you can kind of see I didn't get that smoothed out, but you can kind of see where I smoothed it in. So it does seal that crack, and I've also put some sealant in that hole there, and I'm going to do that all the way up the outside edge of that. We'll add more once I get the plates and everything on, but I just wanted to fill in those gaps that weren't filled in before. I'm also thinking that I might roll up a little bit of the flex tape. Alright, so I put some silicone up here where that plate's going to sit. Just smearing it around. Alright, so first I'm going to put this angle plate back on, and all these are the 1/4 inch stainless steel bolts, and I could not find the washers with the rubber gaskets bonded to the washer in stainless. I'm sure they're out there, but I couldn't locate them. So these are galvanized, so hopefully they'll last a little longer. Running them down just until I hit that seal. Like I said, I'm going to run those down and smush the washers. So one of the things that you'll notice is that they didn't use this bottom hole, and simply because it goes into no hole. There's a square tubing of aluminum back here behind this hole, and it really wouldn't screw into anything, so it doesn't make sense to do that. I believe the water's coming down from up top here and coming right down inside here. So what I'm going to do is just put a bead of silicone in there. Or actually, you know what I might do is roll some of this up. Put it in there. See if that might work, because this stuff's removable, it stays putty. And I got that stuff stuffed into that crack. Got the silicone on it, smeared around. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to redo that and put this other plate on. And that's kind of what it looks like installed. Now I'm going to start on the carriage bolts. So on the outside I'm going to use the 5/16 18x2s. They're by Hillman, also stainless steel. And then I'm going to use the stainless steel flat washers on the inside and the lock washers. And somewhere around this great vicinity, they didn't have me a nifty box, but I have some 5/16 inch hex nuts. And obviously you want to get the bolts back out, so I'm just using some sealant, just 100% silicone, clear. And I'm more or less just applying it to the outside of this bolt. Alright, so the flat washers that I'm putting on aren't quite the same size as the other ones. I just found that out, but they should work just all the same. Just doing a little bit of cleanup here, and then I'll re-caulk. So just as I did the other one, I put some silicone on there, smeared it around, and what I'm going to do is run this bolt in with this plate here. Alright, so I'm also wiping off the excess silicone that squeezes out. It just takes some of this sealing tape and I'm just going to wedge it into that slot just to see if I can get some more sealing into there. Alright, so next step, I'm going to put a little more silicone. They didn't have any silicone on this one. So then this plate here, since there's two little dimples, that helps you line everything up. Just like that. And just like that. And I think I'm ready for this doojubby. And I'm going to line a screw up there ahead of time, because this little thing weighs about 25 pounds. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I'm going to line them up this way. To me, I think it looks a little cleaner. They had the nuts out the outside before. Once again, I don't have a torque for these, so I don't know what that would be. So right now I'm just using 2 big wrenches. We're going to use German torque. Good and tight. Alright, so here we are. This is what one of the old ones look like. We'll have to fix that one obviously too. But it shouldn't be nearly as bad as this one. This one just seemed to be leaking forever. So now you can see all the new hardware are all sealed up. There's water intrusion. I have no idea where it's coming from. So we got all of this sealed up. Got that clamp down there sealed and put on as well. Everything kind of dried out. So I think, yeah, I'm done with this side. 3 more to go.